This is Red Carpet Fly's News on the Fly, bringing you daily, unique, and interesting entertainment, celebrity, and luxury news. Before we get started, you guys know what to do. Like, follow, and subscribe to Red Carpet Fly and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single News on the Fly episode. Okay, let's get into it. Kanye West's Instagram ban is an unwanted distraction for Gap. The retailer's Instagram posts are filled with comments asking the company to end its partnership with the musician following his use of a racial slur and concerns over his treatment of his ex-wife. According to Bloomberg.com, West, who last year changed his name to Ye, was served a 24-hour suspension from Instagram after he directed a racial slur at The Daily Show host Trevor Noah. The temporary ban, which went into effect late Wednesday night, came after Noah used a portion of his show to express concern about Ye's treatment of his ex-wife Kim Kardashian and her boyfriend, the comedian Pete Davidson. Noah's 9.5-minute monologue went viral on Twitter shortly after it was posted to the show's account. The Instagram ban comes just 3 weeks after Gap unveiled its latest installment in a 10-year deal inked with Ye in 2020 to design and sell clothing under the Yeezy Gap label. Gap's Yeezy deal is estimated to be valued as much as $970 million. The Yeezy Gap clothes are sold on a dedicated website separate from the Gap homepage, but this hasn't stopped the public ire directed toward Gap's social media accounts. Gap didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. David Schwartz, an equity analyst with the investment firm Morningstar, said there's a definite risk that Ye's bad behavior will create unwanted publicity for Gap and possibly that Gap will have to disassociate from him. That would be both an image problem and damage Gap's turnaround plan, Schwartz said, while adding that the bulk of the company's business, which is bolstered by sales from Old Navy and Athleta brands, likely wouldn't face reputational damage. Investors might react positively if Gap did cut ties with Ye, since he could become an unwanted distraction, Schwartz said. While Ye's treatment of Kardashian has been talked about on social media for weeks, it looks like Noah's monologue and Ye's subsequent ban from Instagram could serve as a tipping point that prompts corporate executives to start responding, said Davina Tiemann, the founder and chief executive officer of management consultancy company Tiemann & Co. The association that your brand has with somebody who's an endorser or somebody who is your brand ambassador, if that brand ambassador gets tarnished, rightfully or wrongfully, unfortunately, that rebounds on your brand, she said. So, I have mentioned that I am obsessed with this Kim and Kanye drama, and not because of the gossip of it all, but because of what Trevor Noah so eloquently stated. This situation has bigger implications. Kanye West has been wilding out on social media, picking all types of fights with black comedians. And I knew his wild behavior was eventually going to hurt his pockets. I have commented on other YouTube videos that I thought Kanye's outbursts were funny at first, which I have received a lot of backlash for, but honestly, I thought he was just harmlessly lashing out. You know, the unrequited lover, but now he's taking things too far and his partnerships with businesses are starting to notice. I feel like Kanye thinks everyone is against him, and that's just not the case. People are trying to tell Kanye to chill the fuck out, but instead of him taking those words under advisement, he lashes out at them. I don't want Kanye to lose this deal. He's amazing at what he does, and he really just needs to chill. It would be a shame for him to lose out on such a lucrative deal. People will continue to put pressure on Gap, and they will eventually have to make a decision. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Star Trek Discovery Season 5 will combine new and old franchise styles. So, if I haven't mentioned it enough, I am a huge Star Trek fan and have been watching Season 2 of Picard. But today I want to talk to you about another Star Trek franchise, Star Trek Discovery. In a Screen Rant article, Season 5 of Star Trek Discovery will combine both old and new elements of the storied franchise. Season 4 of Discovery just concluded its bold new arc on Paramount+. The show is the flagship among a handful of other Trek series on the streaming platform, including Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Lower Decks, and Star Trek Prodigy. When Discovery debuted in 2017, creators Brian Fuller and Alex Kurtzman crafted an exciting new chapter for the franchise that focuses on Captain Michael Berman. Berman is a human who was raised by Vulcan parents as the adopted sibling of Spock. The series opens about 10 years before Star Trek, the original series, where viewers first meet Spock and Kirk. Starting the series as an extremely sharp and talented science specialist, Berman slowly makes her way up to the rank of captain on the USS Discovery, though not without some major bumps along the way. Through Season 2 and Season 3 of the series, Berman and her now-beloved crew have explored new frontiers with their unique spore-driven technology that lets them bounce anywhere through the galaxy instantaneously. In an exclusive interview with Screen Rant, director and producer Olutande Osunsanmi reveals the larger strategy of Star Trek Discovery as the show enters Season 5, which was officially greenlit earlier this year. Osunsanmi describes a plan that will capture some of the magic of the original series. He says it's not necessarily about bringing back specific stories from the old series, but rather revive the old storytelling style and process. He hints that this will involve some scenes from the past, likely flashbacks, and how they will inform future events. The early series focused on philosophical explorations, not necessarily big battles or action narratives, which might be what Osunsanmi is alluding to. He states, "The galaxy is a big place where incredible things can happen. Season 5 is shaping up to be... All I can say is that it's not time travel, but we go into the past to get further into the future. There's this old version of Star Trek that exists, and this new version that has been created by Alex, but there's a lot of things we still love about the old version. So it's about pulling from there, not necessarily stories or characters, but more themes and processes, and how those stories are told and applying them to what we do in the future. And that includes Berman's character and things that she does as a captain." So much narrative ground has been covered by Star Trek Discovery, including a 900-year jump into Starfleet of the 32nd century. In the recently concluded Season 4, the Discovery crew also broke new ground by crossing the galactic barrier to make contact with species 10C. The show has been allowed to break some rules and set its own course in the franchise, unencumbered by canon in many ways. Now that they've come so far in that exploration, the show's creators are seemingly hoping to return to the franchise's roots in some ways. Osunsanmi will presumably still be expanding Star Trek Discovery's 32nd century narrative while using the flashbacks to illuminate the importance of future events. As so many series creators have learned over the years, a dive into backstory can be the most fascinating choice to make after a character has evolved over so many seasons. Berman's past was touched on in Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery when young Spock joined the show and revealed more about how Berman was raised as an orphan. With the Trek legacy, the show has countless avenues to explore in terms of backstory to explore. So, I have some thoughts, and all my Trekkies will understand where I'm coming from with this. Where does Star Trek Enterprise enter this timeline? Shouldn't Michael and her crew come into contact with the Enterprise crew before they interact with the Star Trek original series? See, this is my ongoing gripe about Star Trek. You have all these Star Trek franchises with different timelines, and it makes it hard to follow the Star Trek lore. Maybe, just maybe, the Discovery crew will briefly run into the Enterprise crew. That would be cool, and it would help the Star Trek lore and timeline. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? Do you guys even watch Discovery or any of the Star Trek franchises? Let me know in the comments. An ancient coin that marked the assassination of Julius Caesar will fetch for $2 million in auction. Collectors, here's something worth your time. A rare 2,000-year-old coin that has thought to have been worn by one of the murderers of Julius Caesar is all set to go under the hammer. It depicts the face of Caesar's former friend, Brutus, who led the conspirators that killed him, and is expected to sell for $2 million. According to Luxury Launches, the coin has been on display for the past decade at the British Museum in London, where it was held on a long-term loan from a private collector. It is the only one of its type with exceptional, dating from before World War II, and features a hole that was punched into it shortly after being minted. One side shows the daggers and the words Ed Mar, a Latin abbreviation for the Ides of March, while the other boasts a portrait of Brutus. The coin is so remarkable that it also bears a mention in writing in the ancient historian Cassius Dio in the 3rd century AD. Commenting on it, Arturo Russo, director of Swiss ancient coin firm Numismatica Ars Classica, that will be hosting the auction, said, "The Edmar coin commemorates one of the most important moments in Western history, the assassination of the dictator Julius Caesar. It is extremely rare to come across an ancient coin with such exceptional provenance. a point illustrated by its inclusion in the British Museum's display for over a decade. We are thrilled to present the opportunity for a museum or collector to become a part of a story of such a significant piece of ancient history at our auction in May, he further added. The coin will go under hammer at Hotel Bar Al Luc, Zurich on May 30th, 2022. You know, I always wonder how these private collectors acquire these exceptional pieces. This is a really rare find. Okay, this is my theory. I feel like these type of artifacts are passed down like a family heirloom. How do you get a coin from ancient Greece that depicts the assassination of Julius Caesar? I believe, and this is just me speculating now, that someone in that private collector's family is a direct descendant from one of the senators that perpetrated the act. I know, it's a long shot, but stay with me. That coin and the significance of that coin just wouldn't be floating around. Let me tell you, the past isn't that distant. Well, that's it for Red Carpet Fly's News on the Fly. Please like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Red Carpet Fly, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Red Carpet Fly. And until tomorrow, always stay fly.